here with a dear friend and one of the most inspiring people I know, Tony Robbins. Anticipated new book. It's called Unshakeable, about overcoming your fears and achieving financial freedom. As it says here, right here, Tony, you are a force of nature. You are. First of all, thank you, thin. This is thin for Tony. Usually you can do a bicep curl with what he writes. Unshakable. Why do you say unshakable?
Well, I think you remember back in 2008 when I saw everybody losing their homes and half their net worth. I wanted to do something, and I had access because I worked with Paul Tudor Jones, one of the top 10 financial traders in the history of the world, for 24 years, and he hasn't lost money in 24 years. So I interviewed 50 of the smartest people in the world. I put together a 700-page tome, which became the #1 New York Times bestseller. I was proud of it. But the last year and a half, there's just become more and more fear. There's more volatility, and I want to protect people because we all know that a crash is coming. You don't have to be reactionary. This is the 8th year of our bull. We usually get a bear market every 5 years. So whether you're in the market or not, you got to know how to protect your family. But I also want to show people that if you're a millennial and you've got all this student debt, you think you'll never be free, or you're a baby boomer that never got started, or next generation that's kind of concerned, the next crash, even though it's counterintuitive, is your chance to leapfrog from where you are to where you want to be, because everything goes on sale. And the crazy thing is, most ladies, if they can buy their favorite outfits or shoes for 50% off, they're excited. But when the stock market goes 50% off, everybody freaks out.
That's a good point.
And I wanted to show people what the pattern is, because here's what you can know. Every single crash we've ever had in the history of the United States in 2.5 centuries is immediately followed by a bull market. So in 2008, we lost 50%. The next 12 months, it was 69% straight up. So if you don't sell, which is what all the people I interviewed with, you can just get a small amount of money, even in the market. When it starts to crash, you have a chance to really transform yourself financially.
But also, when you talk about unshakable, state of mind. It's not just about finances.
That's exactly. Well, because if you walk around, there are people who have $1 billion and they're still freaked out. They're stressed. They're angry. If you're stressed and angry, what good's $1 billion? So in the book, I show you how to shift your mind and your emotions so you're rich today while you're also building the finances you want. And we're donating 100% of the rights to this, or the royalties to this, as I did the last time. I had a $5 million advance. We fed 50 million people through Feeding America. I fed 100 million people 2 years in a row. We're going to feed 100 million people this year. We're going to feed 1 billion people over 7 years. So this will change your life.
So that and this, all towards that goal of 1 billion.
Yeah, every book will feed 50 people, so it's a chance for us to make a difference and for you to change your own life as well.
What is the #1 mistake that you hear from people when it comes to their finances? The #1 mistake that we make?
Well, I don't ask the people, I ask the best in the world.
Yes, right,
they told me. And what they said is, people don't take advantage of what makes people wealthy, which is compound interest. We all know about it intellectually. But I'll give you an example. There's a gentleman that worked for UPS, true man, Theodore Johnson, in the 1950s. He never made more than $14,000 in his entire career. He retired with $70 million.
How?
How? Good question. Yeah. A friend of his did what I teach in the book. You have to decide to become an owner, not just a consumer. If you own an iPhone and you don't own the index of the best companies in the United States, you're making a giant mistake. Owners get wealthy. So a friend came to him and said, we're going to put a 20% tax on you. He said, I can't pay my bills at $14,000. He said, listen, if the government raised your taxes 20%, you'd scream, you'd yell, and you'd pay it, and you'd adjust. This will make you free. That 20% set aside made that transformation happen. So in the book, I show you, your child can start out with 18 years old with $300 a month, and by the time they're 28, they can put no more money in, and when they're 65, they'll have $1.8 million.
I saw that, how you put that.
It's just mind-boggling.
It is. I got to tell you what. We're going to have you come back in the next, because we're going to, you're a giant. We're going to unleash the giant within with this giant right here. He's going to take some questions from you, going to take some questions from you at home with Tony Robbins next.